This is instant coffee, not proper coffee, so for anyone who properly makes coffee, I am not on that level yet. That's just the first thing to say. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. I squeezed this foot the other day and I have like loads of dry skin around it, so please just ignore that. But yeah, I thought I would sit here and talk to you guys about coffee whilst I am drinking my coffee. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the taste of coffee, but I never used to be that person. For the majority of my life, I haven't drank coffee. And for those of you guys who have followed my channel for a long time, you'll know that I haven't ever had coffee in like my diet. So I just thought it would be a fun little story time and interesting to talk about caffeine and coffee. I mean, coffee is the most widely consumed psychoactive drug or substance, and most of that is consumed in coffee. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, definitely like it and leave any comments or questions down below. Whoa, the froth. So the first thing I kind of want to address is, you know, why I've never drank coffee before in my life. And there are kind of like a few reasons for this. Now, growing up, and like a lot of people when they grow up, coffee is a bitter taste and you don't like it. You have an aversion to it. And that was me. Like, I remember trying my mum's tea one time and I was like, that is actually disgusting. And I also tried coffee and didn't like it. And I also never tried it again because I just refused to try something that I didn't want to get addicted to. Like, I didn't want to consume coffee or drink coffee every day because I was scared of being addicted to it. Caffeine, you know, it can be mildly addictive, especially if consumed in large quantities. It acts as a mild stimulant. It stimulates reward pathways with like dopamine involved, and people can become mildly physically addicted to it. And I also didn't want to rely on something for like energy or like artificial energy. Coffee obviously doesn't give you like energy, but it like stimulates wakefulness and alertness, attention. It can increase your mood. It basically blocks adenosine receptors. Adenosine is a molecule that like promotes sleep, so if you block the function of adenosine, then you'll promote wakefulness. It blocks 2 of the 4 adenosine receptors basically, so it's what we call a non-selective adenosine receptor antagonist. So it blocks A1 and A2A. I'll put the chemical structure if you've never seen it before on the screen. It's 1,3,7-trimethyl-xanthine. So caffeine doesn't like give us energy like in the form of ATP, it just opposes the sleep promoting effects of adenosine basically. But as I said, I didn't want to rely on caffeine for like energy, and I also always said that I got my energy from food, which is true. So, you know, that's what I said. I was like, I don't need coffee or caffeine, you know, I already have enough energy from food. And like the funny thing at uni is that, you know, everyone, when I told them that I didn't drink tea or coffee, they'd be like, oh my gosh, like how do you even survive? Like how do you get through your days without coffee or caffeine? Like a lot of students, they rely on caffeine and I just didn't, and so many people were like startled by that. So those are kind of like the first 2 reasons. And then the third reason is kind of quite personal to me and it's quite strange. I obviously grew up, you know, looking up to my sister Em, who is my older sister, and we went through a period where we used to just like do everything together, and we like ate the same thing, we drank the same thing, and you know, if Em did something, I would also try that. If she didn't do something, I'd also refuse it. So Em has never liked coffee and caffeine. She always like really hated it, had a really strong aversion to it, hated the taste, and even hates the smell. Like she'll go into a coffee shop and she'll like hate it basically. So because Em didn't drink coffee, I was like, I'm also not going to drink coffee because my sister doesn't. I know that sounds so strange. As I said, we went through this very weird stage in our life, okay? I'm now in a situation where I am very open-minded and I do try things, I think for myself, I do everything independently, and that's why I'm basically here now drinking coffee, I guess, because as I've gotten older, I've started to really enjoy bitter things. So the first one and the big one for me is dark chocolate, like 100% dark chocolate. I know a lot of people don't like that because it's so bitter, but I love the taste of dark chocolate, like 100%. It's so bitter, I know, but I just love that. And that's what we call an acquired taste, or a conditioned taste preference in science. Basically, through like repeated exposure to something that we initially don't like, we learn to enjoy it. So with bitter foods, like from an evolutionary perspective, you know, if something is bitter, it might be poisonous to us, but like through conditioning or repeated exposure, we can learn to like something and we can change our innate behavior. So with these conditioned taste preferences, or what we know as acquired tastes, you know, we learn to like them over time because we realize that they don't make us sick, they're not toxic, and with coffee and caffeine, like, it stimulates reward pathways, it's pleasurable, so we learn to like it, you know, despite the bitterness. As children, we love sweet things because that gives us energy, like, that's an innate taste preference, unlike bitter things. The first time I had coffee when I was in my early 20s, I liked it from the get-go, and that's probably because I'd conditioned myself to like bitter things over time. I've obviously tried coffee previously. I've even made a video on this channel where I tried drinking coffee, but like last year in Spain, that is when I had my first ever Starbucks. Dan, or Danielle, and Jess, they bought me my first Starbucks. It was this grande cup, or the biggest size, I don't know what you call it, and it was like so strong. Oh my gosh, like I had never been hit by caffeine like that before. I started to like shake, it's like I could feel my heart beating, and you know, I was just so hyper. Like Holly on caffeine, that much caffeine is hyperactive, okay? I can feel this caffeine like pumping through my body. I just want to like run. And I really liked the taste of that drink. Like I remember being like, wow, this is so nice. Obviously Starbucks drinks and iced coffees, they're often sweetened quite heavily. I didn't start like regularly drinking coffee after that, but then I met Angelo. You know, Angelo drinks coffee, he has a coffee machine, and that was when I actually tried like proper coffee from a proper machine, and I was like, wow, this is actually so nice. Like the bitterness and like the chocolatey undertones, it was like so nice, okay? When I'd go to Angelo's, I'd have coffee, and then after that I was more open to trying coffee. Like I tried Angelo's Dunkin' Donuts coffee in LA. We went to this really cool like coffee shop in Amsterdam, not like a coffee shop, you know, but like a proper coffee shop selling coffee, called Cafecito in Amsterdam. Oh my gosh, they did such good coffee. And then I'd say I started drinking coffee like regularly this year when Angela and I went to Asia. We were running a lot, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just see if coffee like affects my running performance or anything. So I just did it because I was curious to see if it affected my running. Coffee break. I am slowly learning, you guys, about like the different types of coffee, like a shot of coffee being like an espresso, and then having the Americano, and then like lattes, cappuccinos, and macchiatos, and all this stuff. Still don't really know what is everything, but this is just, as I said, instant coffee made with some soy milk, so nothing too crazy. But yeah, I started drinking coffee, like I'd have a coffee every morning basically, and you know, like I didn't have to have it in the morning. If I went a day without coffee, like it's fine. Like when I'm home, I'll have a matcha sometimes. Now I did just want to keep this video like quite simple, like a little story time, and just talk about coffee where I've started to drink it. But like I do want to film videos where I like, you know, talk about how coffee affects running performance and whether it affects like productivity and focus and sleep, because you know, coffee can interfere with sleep. Like if you consume caffeine quite late in the day, it's going to affect your sleep because caffeine won't be metabolized and it will still be in your system, and it will still be antagonizing the adenosine receptors, which are trying to promote sleep. But I just thought I would speak in this video about like the effects I've noticed personally. I would say that if I have like a really big hit of caffeine, I will be so hyperactive. And since Spain, like I haven't had a shot of caffeine like that big since, because I know that like I don't need that. So far, caffeine hasn't disrupted my sleep. You know, sleep is so important to health, and if something disrupts your sleep, I would be concerned. But the main two effects for me, because obviously caffeine doesn't just affect your brain, it affects your whole body and different organs because it binds to receptors all over your body. It acts as a mild diuretic, so if I drink coffee, I will definitely need the toilet like a lot more. And then secondly, it also makes me go to the toilet. Like it will stimulate my bowels, and like I can basically 95% guarantee that I will go to the toilet after I've had a cup of coffee within like 15 minutes, sometimes even 5 minutes, a minute, okay? I need the toilet. My bowels are moving, okay? She needs to go. That is quite useful before a run, because obviously running with full bowels is not fun. I'm still yet to investigate how it affects my running performance, like how I feel on a run, because like I started to think about it in Asia, but then I've been injured again, so I want to properly investigate this for myself, which will probably be a video. But what I did notice, like the first time I had coffee in Amsterdam, it was like midway through a run. We ran to Vondel Park, ran around there, we passed a coffee shop on the way back, got coffee and ran back to the hostel where we were staying. And on that run back to the hostel, I felt so much more energetic because of this caffeine. And so I was like, okay, maybe it can help me with my running. And obviously you don't want to overdose on coffee, or like you don't want to get too used to it, and so that is what I'm kind of mindful of. But like those are the two main effects. The pooing situation is great, I'm not gonna lie. The weeing on the other hand I don't like. So there are definitely good things and bad things about coffee. I've definitely realized, as much as I really do enjoy the taste, it doesn't mean to say that I don't have concerns. Like I'm still doing like research into like the benefits of coffee, the things to be aware of, because obviously it contains like polyphenols, but it also contains tannins, which can, you know, like potentially stain your teeth. I also personally don't like coffee breath sort of thing. You know, it has drawbacks that I'm aware of. I would say that, you know, like I do wake up and I'm excited to drink coffee because I like the taste, and personally I'm like, oh my gosh, am I addicted to this? But like it's the same as me just really wanting my oats in the morning, you know, because I really like the taste. I'm not addicted to caffeine, and the majority of people aren't addicted. It's just an inbuilt habit. They really like the taste. You know, like most people, they probably have 1 to 3 cups of coffee a day. It's not going to cause like crazy physical dependence unless you drink like loads and loads of coffee. Symptoms of that might be like tiredness, headaches, anxiety, and to cure that you need to drink a cup of coffee. I definitely think you should be aware of the amount of caffeine you are consuming on a day-to-day basis and when you're drinking it. But ultimately I drink coffee now because like I enjoy it and I can drink it in a healthy way. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to hear about coffee, caffeine, because as I said, I'm really keen to film videos, talk more about coffee, caffeine, see how it affects me personally so you guys can relate and you take something away from the video and incorporate it into your life. But yeah, I'm interested to hear your kind of coffee stories. If you have anything interesting, like are you a regular coffee drinker? Are you like past Holly and you like are scared of getting addicted to something? I don't know, I'm open to your thoughts being shared down below, always open to discussion. Subscribe if you are new, and as always I'll speak to you very soon in another video. Bye guys. Okay, ew, why is my hair in it? I do apologise, that's gross. I'm British and go away emails. I am gonna get hot in this jumper with my windows closed drinking this hot drink, but it is good. It doesn't have the same level of addictiveness. Is that a word? But you know what I mean. It's not on the same level as other drugs, most of which are illegal for that reason. Jesus, I'm getting hot.